Okay, let's be honest. How many times have you set goals in January and by March, they were done? If you want to go into 2026 with the same patterns and attitude that you had in 2025, Miss Girl, you will repeat the year. No shade at all. But if you are tired of saying new year, new me, and nothing ever changes, welcome to the New Year Better You series. And in this first week, I'm going to give you 2 reflection questions that will help you figure out what exactly happened in 2025, except of course from the economy, because that messed everybody up. And stay with me because later in the video, I will be telling you about 4 main reasons why the year usually doesn't go as planned for a lot of people. So grab your notepads and your pens and let's get into it.
Okay, welcome. Oh my God, y'all. Welcome to Get In Girl.
Hey girl. Hi. Welcome to another episode of the Get In Girl podcast. A lot of people always start the new year and they're like, okay, I'm just going to set goals for things that I want to achieve in this year, which is great. That is fantastic by all means. But if you are not evaluating the year that you just had, how are you going to know what to improve in the next year? And that's why a lot of people just literally take the same patterns that they had in 2025 and they take it into 2026 in the new year and they wonder why nothing changes. Because you didn't change anything about yourself, because you haven't done any evaluation. So that's why reflection is important. We always want to evaluate so that we can improve. So the very first reflection question that I have for you today is, 1, what actually went well in 2025 and why did it go well? You can pause the video if you need to write this down, but the why is where a lot of people kind of just forget about it. Like, it's really important to track your goals and it's really important to celebrate your wins. But if you're not really identifying, okay, like, why did this goal actually work out of all the other goals I set, I achieved this one. Why? A very good example for me is that I started out the year being like, okay, I'm going to do a weekly gratitude jar, and y'all will not believe it. I have 52 weeks of a list of gratitude items, which I really should read at the new year just to make me feel good about the year that I just had, despite everything that happened. So my why is because I did not just say, okay, I'm going to do a weekly gratitude jar. I said I'm going to do a weekly gratitude jar on Sundays. And then I set a reminder for it. And then I made it really easy for me to actually do it. Because when I started out the year, I was like, okay, I'm going to have an actual physical jar and write out the note and put it in the jar. And it, it looked cute. It looked very Pinteresty. And the first week I did that, I literally missed the first 2 weeks. So I literally had to go back and backdate it. And I was like, okay, you know what? Like, this jar method is not working out. I'm just going to do it in my notes app. And I haven't missed a week since then. Even when things get a little busy and I may not get to it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I usually go back and I'm like, okay, this is what really happened on Sunday. And that only happened because I pivoted very early in the year. I had a system in place and I actually set reminders. So those are my whys. That is what made me actually achieve this goal that I have. So make sure that you're writing down the why of every goal that you achieved. The second question is, what did not work well? And again, you guessed it, why? Because again, if we're just saying, oh, I didn't achieve this goal, like I really wanted to save some money and I did not save as much as I want to, that's good information to have, but we don't just want to track your failures. We want to track the data so that we know what did not work well and why it did not work well. And then we know what to avoid in 2026. Again, a great example for me, this year I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to call my friends and family more often. That's a really good goal to have. Did I do it? No, I did not. Does that mean I don't care about my friends or my family? No, it just means I was just going about it based on absolute vibes. I was literally just like, oh yeah, I'll call them whenever. And whenever never actually came to fruition. So it's really funny that this is the exact opposite of my gratitude jar goal, because 2 ends of a side, because one goal I really set the systems in place and the other one I did not set systems in place at all. So those are my 2 examples of a goal that worked and a goal that did not work, but more importantly, the why behind it. So we can actually extract the data. We can find out what worked well and what we need to build upon in the next year. And now the part that you have all been waiting for. Here are 4 reasons why sometimes the year does not really go as planned. The very first one is that you usually set your goals based on comparison and not based on your own values. You know that I will never stop talking about comparison, y'all. I will never stop talking about comparison, because if you're like, okay, well, I have this person that I graduated high school with and they are a senior engineer, whatever. I don't know why I keep using that example, but let's say they are a senior engineer and you're like, okay, I'm going to set a goal to also, get this senior engineer promotion this year as well. But then you're just starting out in your career. You don't have the experience. You don't have the certification. And you're just like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to apply for senior engineer jobs and I'm going to, network my way into it, which is possible. But if you don't really have a strategy that you're following, then it's probably not going to work out, right? So you want to make sure that the goals that you're setting are based on what is actually important to you and the current season that you're actually in versus what you see somebody else having. The second thing is that you tried changing too many things. Raise your hands if you're guilty of this one. I am guilty to the T of this one, or to the Y. Is it guilty to the T or to the Y? I don't. Anyway, I am guilty of this one because there were years where I would literally set like, okay, these are 20 things I want to do this year. It's a long year, to be fair. The year is long. There's like 365 days. There's 52 weeks in a year. There's a lot of time, but how many times do I always say you literally blink and the year's done? So setting 20 goals, you're probably not going to get through everything else. So like if you're trying to change too many things, like, okay, this is the year you want to get fit. This is the year you want to save money. This is the year you want to get a promotion. This is the year you want to get married. Like, you actually have to have that tunnel laser vision focus. And these are things that we're going to get into in week 2 and 3. So again, make sure you stick around for the whole series. The third reason why you may not have achieved the goals that you wanted is because your life capacity did not actually match your goals. I'm a great example of this, y'all. I will never stop using myself as an example, because in 2025, I literally moved provinces, and then I also changed jobs as well. And like the goals that I set did not even reflect the fact that I was moving or changing jobs. And what happened to those goals? I did not achieve it to the extent that I thought I would achieve it to, because again, there were things that were happening in my life that I did not account for, which kind of ties back into the first point of making sure that your goals are in line with your own current season versus what your expectations are. It's great to have big, audacious goals, but it's also more important to make sure that your goals are actually in line with your current life. And also be open to change it, be open to be flexible and adjust as things change. And the final reason that your goals may not have worked out in 2025 is because you did not build any systems to make sure that your goals actually happen. You were just relying based on motivation, which again was me with calling my friends and family. I was like, yeah, that's completely amazing. I am going to call my friends and family. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But I didn't really put any systems in place. Another goal that I had this year that I really knocked out of the park was that I really wanted to solidify, that sounds like such a corporate term, but I really wanted to put my morning routine in place. And I was able to do that so consistently this year. The days that I did it really well are days that I did it right immediately in the morning. So that was the system I put in place. I'm literally, the moment I wake up, before I even have breakfast, I'm going to do my morning routine. I'm going to read my Bible and pray and say my affirmations, and then I'm going to go have breakfast. The days that I did not get to it are the days that I try to kind of like move it around. And it's important to be flexible and whatnot, but that was the system that I had in place, doing it right when I woke up. And that is what helped me actually see the goals through or solidify the morning routine. I don't know. That's the only word that's in my head. That is what it is. So those are the 4 reasons why your goals did not work out this year. And honestly, if you feel attacked by it, that's okay. That's okay. Again, no shade. We're just learning because we want to make sure that we're improving in 2026. So next week, we're going to get into how to actually structure your goals and make sure that you're building up the goals properly, like to make sure that you're actually planning for the year properly to set yourself up for success. Again, another corporate term, I'm so sorry. But your Getting Girl challenge for this week, I want you to do your year-end audit. December is a great time. We're not yet in the Christmas, weekend. We still have, a few more weeks before that. But I want you to do your year-end audit. What worked? What did not work? But more importantly, why? What is the lesson that we can extract from what went well and what did not go well? Because that is what is going to be the basis for us to build on the goals for next year. And do not worry if this year did not go to plan, because now you are paying attention. See you next week. I love you so much. Bye.